Page 40, A Long Goodbye. 4/4 time, 1 flat, we're in the key of D minor. Got a lot of quarter notes and eighth notes. I don't think the rhythm's going to be a problem, but let's just go over the fingering and all carefully anyway. Starting with 5th finger, you're here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now for the 3rd measure, I recommend you put a thumb on the F. This way you can reach the C more easily. So again, at the beginning you're here, and then we just change to here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Then a thumb, and 2 and then a 3, and then reach down with a thumb, and a thumb again. Because you gotta go, and then 3rd finger on the A. So we're kind of screeching around here. That's fine. We can do that. Going on, this is measure 9 up here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, this is a little different. Coming to here to 3, that's doable. You can cross thumb under it, slide under, and go here. But you're going to lift up because of the phrasing anyways. So you can lift up from here. Not the best, but sometimes you got to do that. You can, if you want, to make it a little easier, 5th finger or 4th finger, but then use 3rd. If you're going to use 5th, use 3rd on the G, because you got to go here. You got to reach up here, because you need 3rd finger on the G, because you want to connect it, and then back down here. So let's go back to measure 9. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And then I do a 3-2 here, just because I don't want to put my thumb on that. And then a 4-2 or a 4-1. I can go from 1-4 to here. To here, and then an F natural, and then measure 18, come down. That's okay. Measure 19, we have 2 voices. You can't hold the whole note down unless you got really big hands, like Rachmaninoff or Liszt or somebody like that could do that. I can't, so you have to get off of here, and I'll talk about how to deal with that a little bit later. Right now it's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Thumb if you want to. It's like it was at the beginning, but you're not octave higher. Now, measure 24. I recommend a 4-2 here, because you're going to need the thumb here. Now, on the D, I recommend 5th finger, because you're going to hold that down for the measure as you play this. And then you lift up when you play the G. So that measure 24 is here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then reach a thumb on the F there again, and you hold that dotted half note down and lift up here. So let's go back to measure 25. You're here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Thumb. 2 and 3. 1 and 2. Here. It's interesting, they ended that on a D major chord. We're in D minor, and we end on a D major chord, the parallel major. This is actually quite common. Back in the Middle Ages and all, when they do a lot of minor modes, minor keys, they would end on the parallel major. They would just take the middle and take it's a 3rd above the bottom. You take, it's called a Picardy 3rd, in case you're wondering. You can Google Picardy 3rd. Just end it on the major, on the kind of a happy tone at the end. Whatever. If you're into improvising and composing at all, you can experiment with that. It's something, it's a little tool in your tool chest to use occasionally. Left hand just has these broken chords here. You can, on second measure, you can use 1, 5, 2 or 5, 1, whichever, depending on how big your hands are. I do 5, 2 myself. And then when you get to measure 5, you just come down. You're here, just come down an octave. If that's the case, you need to use thumb on that last one. This is the last note in measure 4. So you're here, use thumb. That way it's just an octave here. It makes it easier. On measure 7, I use 4 because I'm going back down. And I use 4 on the black keys. It doesn't matter how you finger it. It's up to you. Use 5, 1 on all of them. All quarter notes. Hopefully the rhythm's not a problem. This is going to be just a steady pulse in the background. Put them together. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now make sure on measure 8 you lift up the right hand on beat 3. Here, 2, there. When you play that third beat, lift up. Then go on. Just put the hands together. This one shouldn't be too much of a problem on that. Then we can go in. As far as articulation goes, there isn't any except for the slurs. Just lift out like taking a breath. Lift up. Just lift up here. This left hand, play it all connected. As best you can, just play it all connected. Then add the dynamics, and that's to the right hand. Left hand has to be well in the background. How soft is this? This, very soft. You're staying there until measure 7 and 8, or 8 actually. You come up a little bit. This is moderately loud. The left hand is still soft. 12, you're going to crescendo up, take 3 measures to get loud. So don't get loud. Don't get loud until that F. And there. Now you're loud. Now start coming softer, softer, slow down, softer. And then measure 19. Allargando. Ooh, big word. Means really spread out. I mean, it's like slow. Just really, you slow down to that. That retardando, slow down to that. So you kind of blend into it. So go back to measure 17. When you start slowing down. And then you have an off tempo. It means resume your tempo now. I suggest you don't just all of a sudden take off again. Not in this piece. This is an emotional piece. So don't do anything too surprising here. Just speed up. But only take a couple beats or so to speed up. So on measure 19, you're really slow. And then here, you're still slow. And then now you sped up. Here, ba, ba, ba. And then you speed up here. Don't just suddenly take off again. Sometimes you do, but a lot of times you don't. It's part of interpreting the music. You have to experiment. What does it sound like if you just suddenly, all tempo, take off again? Well, you're here. Now. Or speed up into it. Speeding up into it myself. So that's what I'm recommending. Then you have your soft on when you do this in the right hand. The left hand's very soft. This is measure 19. Stay soft. Then you come to moderately soft. And then go back down. You just kind of went up into the swell like that. So it's here. All of this soft here in the from measure 25 on. You're soft or very soft. It's so measure 24. You're here and lift up. It's a phrase. Just don't slow down. Now at the end, you slow down and very soft. I do a 5/2 in the left hand. Speed-wise, actually it's march tempo, but it's not a march. Left, right, left. Think about the speed. Decide right, left, right, left, right. Sadly, you have to feel sad. Try to, and try and. It's a sad piece. But stay at that pulse. Don't speed up on it. Then we add the pedal. I don't know, it sounds fine without pedal to me, but they want pedal. You're changing it, it looks like, on every measure. You see, because that's the markings they're giving, and then they give a sim, which means keep doing it what you're doing, which means you're going to change it on every measure. Well, let's talk about that. Complicated just a little bit because I don't like a lot of blurriness. So it's overlapping pedal. I'm going to push the notes down first and then the pedal. And when I change the pedal, it's after I play the notes. So there's a little overlap there. So it's here. Okay, and that's fine. If that's what you want to pedal it, that works out fine. This way, when you get to measure 19, the pedal will hold the whole note down for you. That way it can ring out on measure 19. So it rings out. But when you get to the next line on those other notes, you hold those down with your little finger because you can. Now there's a couple of ways of handling this on measure 19 with this whole note. You can't hold it down with the right hand because you got to play up here. But you're using pedal, and the pedal will do it for you, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to. You still got it. Except if you don't want to use pedal, what do? Well, simple. You play the note with the left hand because the left hand is here, so it can do that. It's just an octave. It can do that. It can hold it down. So in measure 18, you're here. And then up here. And then you lift up on the next measure. I do that a lot. If one hand can help me out on the other hand out or whatever, fine. So that's another way of doing it. So if you're not using too much pedal there, that is a way you can hold it out. That's fine. A couple of little things with pedal you can adjust if you want to. You want to experiment a little bit. And that is on the 8th notes. Just lift them up for the 8th note. So at the beginning, I'm just lifting that up. And on the next measure, I don't pedal the 4th beat because I don't want this. I don't want both of those. So I just lift up on the E. So again. And I don't pedal until the half note because I want to hear the phrase. I want to hear that silence there. Well, the pedal covered up, so I just don't pedal until the half note. And then I lift up on the 8th note. So I'm just pedaling when I absolutely have to for the overtones and connect it. And that's it. The fermata at the end you just hold for however long you feel right. And lift the pedal and the hands at the same time. What you can do, because it's very soft, if you're on an acoustic piano, and some electronic pianos will do it too, you have to experiment. Just release the keys, keep your hands on them, just release the keys, and then slowly lift the pedal up and let the dampers slowly touch the strings, and the sound should just die away. If you're getting buzzing, you may need to have your piano technician check your dampers. They may be getting hard or something. It should not buzz because you slowly touch the strings. I like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. It's a slow piece anyway, but we're going a lot slower than that. So I'm going to give us 4 counts. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I'll try and pedal it as I suggested so you can see that a little more clearly if you'd like. But it's up to you and what you like to hear as far as pedaling goes. You experiment with the pedal. What's the sound you're after? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2. Hold, 2, 3, 4, on.